Maybe you don't have a room dedicated to this home office in general, but we still need space for working and learning. My next guest believes you can make any room into the office for beautiful, organized, and inspiring space. Emily England is here to share 5 tips she suggests for creating a home office as attractive as the rest of your space and perfectly functional too. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So fun. As we went through those COVID times, we all needed like that dedicated space for our husbands and our kids to their working and their online learning. Now I feel like the office, we still need space, but I feel like it's kind of pushed out in the space of our homes and our lives. But you're saying we don't necessarily need a specific room to be able to have a dedicated like office space.
Yes, absolutely. So I think COVID really changed the way people view the home office. And now when I'm designing homes, people want a space for everyone in their family to either do homework or work. So we've really had to get creative about creating lots of spaces throughout the home for everybody to be able to work and study and all the things. We all have PTSD from COVID, I think.
Don't we? We do. So you're going to get intentional with us today. We're going to start with your first idea, the main focus, the desk.
Yes, the desk is really the star of the home office. And so we want to think through, like, who is using it? What are our needs? If it's for somebody that's working full-time, do they need 2 computer screens? Or is it an architect that needs a huge desk? Or, you know, lots of families now want to have multiple workspaces in a home office. And if that's the case, maybe we have 2 or 3 desks built in. So we just want to think through that, and we want to make it beautiful. And then the other thing I would say is that so many times people are thinking just about having a comfortable office chair, but just because it's comfortable and supports our back doesn't mean that it needs to be ugly. So let's find an office chair that is as beautiful as the desk and everything we're putting in there. So leather is lovely, very masculine. We could do upholstery, but we want it to be comfortable if we're sitting in it for long periods of time, but beautiful.
But beautiful too, she says. I love that. I actually think it's kind of a power move to have a beautiful, comfortable chair. It's going to make you feel more confident in your space.
And if you're there for multiple hours a day, then your body's feeling good, but it looks nice too.
It looks nice. Okay, next you say, even if we don't have that dedicated space, you're going to give us, for an actual office, you're going to give us some tips on how to have a space that works for us, even if it's not its own room.
Yes, so even for homes that have a dedicated office, I'm finding that clients want multiple workspaces throughout their home.
Okay.
So I like to call it the hidden desk. So we might put it in a kitchen, we might put it in a mud room, like multiples in playrooms for kids to do homework, and then in bedrooms too. And so we just want to create spaces where people could either work or do homework and do it comfortably, kind of have everything they need. So we want to make sure there's like a plug. We want to make sure there's good lighting. Because these are multi-purpose spaces, we want to also be able to like clean them up when we're done either with homework or work without like moving everything out of the room. So maybe we have pocket doors, like storage for papers, pens, pencils. So just kind of think through all of that. And then also we want to make sure that you can like tuck a chair in. You know, if it's in a mud room, we need that chair to be tucked in so that people can walk by and not trip.
It's all about that functionality, which brings you to the storage phase of this. What's your favorite type of storage for these office spaces?
So I think if you have the ability to do built-ins, they just offer a lot of versatility, and I love like putting away all of the clutter. So if you can have like built-in filing cabinets, if you can have a cabinet door that hides like mail slots, I think bookshelves are an awesome way to display like collections of books or reference material in a beautiful way. And then the other thing I would say that I was super resistant to, but I think if you can scan documents and then upload them to like a hard drive or the cloud, like I'm very resistant to stuff like this, but there's so many papers in an office, and sure, we can have filing cabinets, but you know, after years of working, it can just become overwhelming. So scanning documents, it's actually not as hard as we think it is. And then you can just Google it really quick by date or name, and you're never gonna lose it.
Okay, we've got our functionality. What about a few quick styling tips?
So I just think having bookshelves in an office, it makes it feel like you're very intellectual, you're very well read, it's very impressive. I think it creates a nice space to work in. And then to kind of organizing our books by either like reference or color, and then having a color scheme, I think is important. And then just incorporating things that make it feel beautiful, that are meaningful to you, and that make it a space that you want to spend time in and feel inspired.
And I love that. And what your last point is personality. I think that plays into those styling tips.
Exactly.
Having your personality shine through. I think when you're in a space that you feel comfortable in and you're proud of, it gives you a little pep to your step.
100%. And I think, you know, sometimes we dread doing homework. Kids dread doing homework. We might dread work, but if you've created a space that really feels like it's representative of you. So what do you love? Do you love, I've done offices where we have like sporting memorabilia. We frame jerseys. We have a picture of, you know, the University of Utah football field framed right there. Or if you love, you know, art history, do we have beautiful, you know, art? And the other thing I would say is everything's more powerful visually when it's grouped together. So ceramics that are grouped together, art that's grouped together that's like-minded. We don't just want to throw a bunch of random like knickknacks in there, but,
Disclaimer.
but group them
Yes.
together, and then it visually is just more pleasing and I think inspiring, and it tells our story.
Emily, so good. How can people learn more from you or hire you for their projects?
I'm on Instagram at Emily England Design.
So good. Thank you so much. Great tips, Emily.